So today I would like to touch upon some of the qualities and glories based on the quality of the Lord Ram. And I'll be reciting, speaking the verse on Srimad Bhagavatam. Uh, it's 9 canto 11th chapter, verse number 23. Purusho Ramacharitam Shravanairupadharayan Anashrayam Shaya Parurajan Karma Bandhanair Vimuchate. Beautiful verse. Actually, Purushaha, any person, Ramacharitam, the narration concerning the activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra, Shravanai, by oral reception, Upadharayan, simply by this process of hearing, Anshrayam Saya Paraha, becomes completely free from envy. Rajan, King Parikshit, Karma Bandhana, by the bondage of fruitive activities, Vimuchate, one becomes liberated. So this verse actually is a Falasruti that is given by Sukadeva Goswami. O King Parikshit, anyone who orally receives the narrations concerning the characteristics of Lord Ramachandra's pastime will ultimately be freed from the disease of envy and thus be liberated from the bondage of fruitive activities. Purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Here, in this material world, everyone is envious of someone else. Even in religious life, it is sometimes found that if one devotee has advanced in spiritual activities, other devotees are envious of him. Such envious devotees are not completely free from the bondage of birth and death. As long as one is not completely freed from the cause of birth and death, one cannot enter the Sanatana Dharma or the eternal pastimes of the Lord. One becomes envious because of being influenced by the designations of the body. But the liberated devotees has nothing to do with the body, and therefore is completely on the transcendental platform. A devotee is never envious of anyone, even his enemy, because the devotee knows that the Lord is his supreme protector. He thinks, what harm can the so-called enemy do? Thus, a devotee is confident about his protection. The Lord says, Etamam prapadente tam sathaiva bhajamiham. Chapter 4, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, 11. According to the proportion of one's surrender unto me, I will respond accordingly. A devotee must therefore be completely free from envy, especially of other devotees. To envy other devotees is a great offense, a Vaishnava Prada. A devotee who constantly engages in hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam is certainly freed from the disease of envy, and thus it becomes eligible to go back to town, back home, back to God. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shva Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Shah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Vyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. So I would like to recite. This is a pranam mantra for Lord Ramachandra in Srimad Bhagavatam. Everyone can recite with me on the screen. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Ramaya Kuntha Medhase Uttama Shloka Duryaya Nastya Dandar Pitangaye. O Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have accepted the Brahmanas as your own, your worshipable deity. Your knowledge and memory are never disturbed by anxiety. You are the chief of all famous persons within this world, and your lotus feet are worshipped by sages who are beyond the jurisdictions of punishment. O Lord Ramachandra, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Purusho Ramacharitam Shavanerupadharayan Ansrishyam Sayaparo Rajan Karma Bandhanar Vimuchyate. O King Parikshit, anyone who orally receives the narrations concerning the characters of Lord Ramachandra's pastimes will ultimately be freed from the disease of envy and thus be liberated from the bondage of fruitive activities. And as I was mentioning, so this is a falashruti of hearing the glories of Lord, right? We have heard in Srimad Bhagavatam what is the power of hearing, right? Of Krishna Katha. It can basically actually transform our heart. And very important disease that every one of us is suffering is a disease of envy. And it is said that actually a person who is envious should go through Bhagavad Gita as much as possible until unless that envy within our heart is not gone. We should actually study Bhagavad Gita as much as possible. Even Krishna, actually in Bhagavad Gita, you see that he tells Arjuna, why I'm giving this knowledge to you, right? Because you give this to quality, because you're non-envious. You're friend of me, right? And you're non-envious. That's a very important quality to understand the instruction of Krishna and God himself, right? And the power of this hearing is the writer of Ramayana himself, right? The Valmiki Muni, who like actually was a decoy, right? Basically, he was a Ratnakar. As a decoy, it was very powerful. It was spending his whole day and time in just stealing, right? Stealing from people, right? And by when Narad Muni came, right? And the power of Narad Muni is such a special that, like, just he made him think that, will your family accept the sin, right? That you're performing. And that particular moment when he thought, like, the Ratnakar was thinking that, oh, am I doing good or bad? Right? Sometimes when we actually contemplate ourselves, like what we are doing is good or bad, can actually transform our life. Actually, it's a beginning. And so, Atato Brahma Jigyasa, that slight Jigyasa that Ratnakar had, when it arrived, immediately Narmani told, like, you go and ask your family. And we know the story that, the family said, we cannot accept your sin because, whatever you do, like, you do, it's not our deeds. So that make him think, and he came to Narmuni and asked, what should I do? Right? So you can see that how that small inquisitiveness that brought in the heart of Ratnakar, right? And when we have the proper association of Guru, right, then or plus our Purva Samskara can actually bring that blessing, that right inquisitiveness will come from actually blessing of Guru first time, because Narad Muni brought that inquisitiveness, and when that Guru see our potential, that see that this person has this right thought coming, right? You can see that Narad Muni was not teaching any kind of philosophy, right? Because he knew that Ratnakar cannot take the philosophy. Right? He gave what he can take, right? And with the chanting of Mara, not he couldn't even chant the Ram. Just imagine, right? So that's what he was doing. So Mara, by chanting of this Mara for 60,000 years, right? He he was converted to Valmiki, right? So that's why you see that this story is very, very important for us, because it's that we can hear this Ramayana and Mahabharata, these stories, right? Nowadays, many people know the stories about Mahabharata and Ramayana, right? But we are missing the principles behind it. Just like in Prayag, if you see, there is um, where, like, in Prayag, the Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati, right? They come hidden, but the Saraswati is hidden, right? So Mahabharata and Ramayana are just like Ganga and Yamuna. You can see this, you can see the story, but the main hidden part is education, Saraswati, right? So that's a main invisible part, right? And these hidden lessons are something we need to take, and they are so relevant. If we really dive down today, we can really relate this in today's day, right? That's what the power of, like, many books are being written every single day, but no one can beat the quality, the lessons, the life lesson one can learn from Mahabharata and Ramayana. These are the glories, right? So as we're talking about the Lord, right, who is Lord Ramachandra, right? So before even going, like, as Krishna says, Yada Yada Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata Abhyuttanam Adharmasya Tadatmanam Sujamiham. Right? I come to this world, like, to establish dharma, you know, and annihilate the demons, the bad element of the society, and establish dharma, protect my devotees, right? So that's what Krishna appears in this world in different form, right? And as we can see these two characters, like Lord Ramachandra and Lord Krishna, actually are like, one is Maryada Purushottam and one is Lila Purushottam. And these two characters actually touches the heart, right, with everybody. Actually, it's so close to us, because they really imbibe the human nature, as we say, the struggle we go through in our life, especially Lord Ramachandra, the character, like, he connects with every emotions in our life, right? What a son he is, like, what a brother, what kind of friend, what a master he is. Every character, every role he had to play in his life, he does it so perfect, supremely perfection, right? It's spotless, I would say, right? So we can see that, like, Lord Ramachandra, this character in Ramayana, actually, if you go down deep, Lord Ramachandra, when even he becomes a king, he actually spends so much time with his people, right? He stays with the citizen, hear them. When he's hear the stories from his citizen, that they are so happy. The stories, like, something good happened. Actually, he feel much more joyous than the family themselves, actually, right? Because it's very non-envious. So on top of that, when there is something bad, some sad thing happening, right? He actually really cries. He feels that pain, right? So what actually trying to show that Lord Ramachandra in this is that, like, sometime in our life, right? So difficulties will be there. So every problem in his life will not have a solution. We just have to tolerate, right? And sometimes in our life, we just don't want, like, people, like, just to be with us to like, solve the problem or issues, right? We just want people to just stay with us, be with that cry along with us. That's what we want sometimes. So that's why we know that, like, all the people don't want, like, all the time solutions, right? Because not all the problems have solutions, right? So this is Lord Ramachandra, actually. That's why the character, actually, it touches our heart in every phase in the pastime. And I wanted to start with proving first that, like, Lord Ramachandra is not ordinary person first, because we might think, like, Lord proves actually in the seventh khanda of Ramayana. So all different khanda, it proved that Lord Ramachandra is not. He's a supreme personality of God, right? understanding first, this is very important, right? So actually, in introduction to chapter 5 of first canto in Valmiki Ramayana, the commentator Sri Govinda Raja, so actually he has given 18 cardinal teachings of Ramayana that Ramanuja actually learned from his guru, his Shailapurna. So this teaching actually, if, you can, everyone can hear from Gauranga Prabhu. If you, when you Google like 18 teachings, 18 cardinal teachings of Ramayana by Gauranga Prabhu, everyone can hear this lecture. Also, we have a book. I don't know how many have this book. We had order for our center this book uh, that Iskcon devotee actually now translating with very beautiful commentaries. They have not printed everything. Rupa Raghunath Vani Publications, but this amazing book they have worked. So they have given this over there too. So and they have taken like all different sections. Like actually, Govinda Raja actually trying to prove that the position of Lord Ram as a supreme, right? So I'll take some few verses, then we'll just move on the qualities of the Lord. So who is Lord Ram? Sani Balkhanda, it says, Etasmin mantare Vishnu Rupaya to Mahadvitihi Shankha Chakra Gada Pani Pitavasha Jagatpati. So this when Lord Brahma was explaining to demigods about Ravana in Valmiki Ramayana, and he was telling what kind of boons like Ravana got, and it was explained that he really didn't care about the human being. And during that time, Lord Vishnu actually comes and appears there, and then at the time Lord Brahma actually prays Tatra tum manusho bhutva pravidhvam lokakashtakam avadhyam devataish Vishnu samare jahiravanam. So he says that, oh Vishnu, right? You're taking birth now, like you will be taking birth as human, right? From the wives of Dasara, and you will eliminate Ravana in the war. So he has become the thorny for all the world, like a pain. He's creating burden in this world, right? So because all the demigods, they are not able to destroy him. So in Ayodhya Kanda, we can see that there's a prayer. Sahi deve rudrinasya ravanasya vadarthivi arthito manusya loke jagge Vishnu sanatana. The eternal Vishnu was born in the world of men at the request of the God seeking to kill Ravana. This is when Dasarath Maharaj actually was very, very happy when jubilant, when the appearance of all the sons, like and the sloka comes over there. And up in Aranyakanda, it says, Aprameyam hi tata tezu yashya sa janatmaja natvam samarthata hartum ramachapasrayam vane. So this is when Maricha explaining Ravana, the glories of Lord Ram is not ordinary person. His strength is immeasurable. If Ravana you considering him as simple ordinary human being, then you're an illusion. He's trying to prove in the Aranyakanda. And in Kiskindakanda, it says that Nivasa Vriksha Sadhunam Apannanam Paragatihi Atanam Samsaya Chaiva Yasascha Eka Bhajanam. It says he's sheltering trees for the sadhus, the ultimate sanctuary for those who approach him for the shelter, the refuge of those surrender unto him in distress, and the sole repository of fame. So, and in Sundarakanda, this is actually the prayers by Tara when when Bali was being killed, and Tara actually glorifies the Lord that he is the shelter of the sadhus, so the ultimate of all the shelters. Brahma, and in Sundar Kanda, as described that Brahma Swayam Bhu Chaturanva Rudras Trinetras Tripun Takova Indro Mahendra Suran Nyakova Tatum Na Satya Yudhi Rama Vadhyam. Either Brahma, the self-existent God with four faces, or Rudra with three eyes, and the destroyer Tripura, the city built of gold, silver, and iron in the sky, air, earth by Maya for the demons, and burned by Siva for Mahindra, the god of atmosphere and sky, and also the Lord of Celestial, would not be able to protect the one to be killed by Ram in the battle. So these are the prayers actually, and in Yuddha Kanda, this is the prayers by, this is the glorification by Mandodari, where she says that, like, certainly this is the great yogi, the eternal supreme soul without beginning, middle, and end, the great one, superior to great, situated, path beyond the darkness of matter, the nourisher, the one who holds the counts, desk, and mace, the one who has Srivatsa on his chest, who is eternally with Sri, the one who is unconquerable, who is beyond decay and transformation. So, from all these verses, I just wanted to point out that uh, Lord Ramchandra is not ordinary, and He is supreme personality of Godhead. And as we're talking about, the appearance of Lord in Treta Yuga, but appearance of Lord actually is not very easy. And Srila Prabhupada and different acharyas actually describes that this Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughan, they're actually in expansion of Vasudev, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And also in different scriptures, it's mentioned that they are like Lord Vishnu, Ananta Sesa, and Sankha and Chakra. These are the four Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughan, right? And we can see that, like, when we think that, appearance of the Lord is very simply happening, right? Actually, it's not. To receive the Lord in our life, right? It's not really easy, right? There is need of tapasya. There is a need of sacrifice. So tapasya is very close to our human nature, right? So either if you see in our life, we have to perform some austerity. So either we are doing for Maya, or either we are doing for Krishna. We do perform tapasya. Every single person in this world perform tapasya, right? So, but the tapasya is what we are doing is for Krishna or for Maya. That's the only difference, right? But you see that devotees, like, are performing actually tapasya for receiving the Lord. And we know the sacrifice, the tapasya that Devaki and Vasudev did, even in previous life, as Sutapa and Krishna, right, whom they beget the son called Krishna Garbha, right, and even as a Kashyapa and Aditi, whom they begot the son Upendra, the Vamana, right, and Devaki and Vasudev, they received Krishna, right, and they had to actually, they went through so much austerity to receive Krishna, and even Krishna came, they couldn't even keep Krishna for themselves, Krishna, they had to leave Krishna to Gokul, so that sacrifice had to be made, right? In the same way, to receive Lord Ramachandra, right? All the Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughan, Dasaratha Maharaj also did so much austerity. It is said that actually he performed the horse sacrifice, a Sumedha Yajna, and after that he performed a Putra Kamasti Yajna, right? And when with the Risisingha, who was married to Samtha, so he was brought and request with Vasishta and all the devotees. They plan to bring him Sumitra, Sumantra. So he actually brought Rishinga, and he performed this horse sacrifice and Putra Kamasti Yajna. And with this yajna, the Prajapati, the Yajna Purusha came, and he came with a beautiful golden pot, the silver lead. In Valmiki Ramayana is described. And then this Dasaratha Maharaj actually, and he said, like, this is from this you can beget a son, like you can give to your wife, and they will have a son. Then Lord Dasaratha, like, they say that, like, sometime in our life, you might have everything, we are so distressed, because same thing will happen with Dasaratha Maharaj, like he had no son. But when we receive these blessings, so he ran actually to give this to his queen, the primary queen, the first half portion actually he gave to Kausalya, and then he gave the half of the half, that is like 1/4 of the total, to the Queen Sumitra, and then to Kaikeyi he gave half of the remaining half, that is a 1/8 of the desert, and then after that he had some remaining work, that which he gave the 1/8 remaining portion to Queen Sumitra. So that's how he distributed. And then from Sumitra we had Lakshman and Shatrughan, and from Kaikeyi we had Bharat, and from Kausalya, Lord Ramachandra was appeared, right? And when even before appearing in Valmiki Ramayana, it explained that all the demigods, when they were praying, like oh Lord, when Lord Vishnu approached, that now he's going to appear as a human form as Lord Ram. So Lord Ramachandra requested that you all also try to come and appear there as like all the demigods, like Siddha, Gandharva, Yakshas, all the sages. They became like a monkey, bear, and all different, and during that time. And Lord Ram said, I'm gonna rule in this world for 11,000 years. So they came, they also appeared, they also sacrificed all the benefits and become a monkey, like being from a demigod, Gandharvas, they were acting as a monkey. They had to appear like a monkey, right? That sacrifice they also had to make. So, and in Valmiki Ramayana, actually in the beginning, when Valmiki performing all this austerity, Narada Muni actually did not instruct anything. So he became a very great sage. So at the time, Narada Muni actually come to his ashram, and knowing now Valmiki is qualified to hear about Lord Ram, right? So and and during that process, Valmiki actually inquired. So he actually glorifies Valmiki. Now you great sage, you're so austere, you have acquired so much punya. And Valmiki inquires this questions of like, who is this person? So that's how we're gonna go. These are the 16 main qualities. Actually, he asks the question, who in this particular world has possessed these qualities. Lord Ramachandra, actually, Srimad Bhagavatam is described that the qualities of Lord Ram, you cannot count how much good qualities he has, right? And how much bad quality he has, you cannot even count also, because he has none, right? But as a jiva, if you see that, if you try to count our goodness, our good qualities, you'll find none, right? But if you try to find bad qualities, it's unlimited, right? But in the same way, actually, Lord Rama's character, his qualities are unlimited. But we are going to brief some of the qualities, actually, the primary qualities that Valmiki is looking for as a person who has it. So, konasmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmagyascha kritagyascha satyavakyo dhridavratah charitrena chako yuktah sarvabhuteshu pohitah विद्वान् ककः समर्थश्च कस्यैक प्रियदर्शनः आत्मवान् को जितक्रोधो द्युतिमान् को सूय न सूयकः कस्याभिभक्ति देवाच जातरोष्यस्य संयुगे. So over here, uh, Valmiki is asking that who is the person who has this quality. So he talks about this 16 qualities, and it is described that all the 16 qualities are just like the phase of the moon, the waning and waxing moon, right? All the 16 phases of the moon. So the first quality, it says Gunavan, right, was possess all auspicious quality. And second, Vidyavan, most powerful, Dharmagya, the knower of Vedic Dharma. Fourth is Kritagya, who is filled with gratitude. Satyavakya is truthful person. Tridavrata, firm in his vows. Charitrena Yukta is endowed with good conduct. Sarva Bhuteshu Hita, benefactor of all living beings. And ninth is Vidwan, learned man. Samartha, competent. Ekapriya Darsanha, delightful in appearance to everyone. Atmavan, self-restrained. Jitakrodha, who has conquered anger. Duty Man is endowed with splendor. Anasuyaka, who is freed from envy. Kashya Vibhatti Deva Cha Sanyuge, whom even the Devatas fear to engage in battle. These are main 16 qualities. So here, actually, Valmiki starts because if you see in the world, qualities of a person attracts everyone, right? So even somebody is very beautiful, it might attract for a moment, right? But when we see the cunningness, the material qualities, richness, but when we see the cunningness and the bad quality of person, that all this external quality becomes very futile, right? It's a very prominent example in Ramayana is the Kaikai, right? Kaikai was so much loved, right? Nobody even doubt, nobody even questions on her character. But when she was actually very beautiful queen of Dasharatha Maharaj. That's why Dasharatha Maharaj was always attached to her, right? And and when she asked this boon of sending Lord Ramachandra, right, to forest, it is said that none of the people in Ayodhya was they want to even look at his face. From a person who is so attractive to look, right, becomes a person whom people don't want to even look at. They don't even want to take his name, right? And even they don't want to put it. It is said that I think I've heard somewhere even uh, Vasishta's wife said that people even will not keep the name Kaikai as the children. It's so bad it becomes, right? Somebody so good, actually so beautiful becomes something is rejected for lifetime, right? That's what quality is something very, very charming. It attracts, right? Because character charms our heart more than a material accomplishment, right? So here in the sloka, Asmin Samprata Loke, when Valmiki is asking, during that time, he is asking that in this world and at this time, who is this person? Do you know a person who had this kind of possesses this kind of qualities, right? So we can see the quality of Lord Ram, who is a very good one. He has possesses all the auspicious quality, right? So if you see his life, right, how uh, we can say that in life we need to make tough choices, right? It's not always that we have to choose something like for one's comfort, right? So during this time when like during the dealing with the downturn in life, right, we should never take a mode of victim mode. Why me? Right? Why me? Right? Because we have to see what is light for us. Like you never know what is stored for us, right? Just like the Pandavas, right? When they were going to the forest, they were actually seeing this as an opportunity to grow. They were seeing from the childhood. Actually, they had this like had opportunity to be with the saint. Learning. They actually love to be with the saint, and they were thinking this is an opportunity to grow ourselves more, associate with the sages, and travel, know about things. So that's a quality a person develops when we have a right mindset of dealing with a downturn in life, right? In other hand, Dhritarashtra, you can see he was a kind of prince, right? He was born in a royal family, but instead of like growing and thinking that I actually have a privileged background of royalty, I'm from a royal family, right? Uh, but rather than thinking that, he was so much burned down that I am royal, I'm blind, right? He was not able to focus what actually he has got, what he has received, right? He always fought for the position, right? Instead of focusing on a self growth, what I could do with this position I have, right? Maybe I'm blind, but what I can do. So in our life, we have to do two things. We have to depend on two things. One is our own will, like our own strength, that is purushartha, and second is daiva, something beyond our control, right? So the purushartha he could perform, the Dhritarashtra could perform, is to he he's supposed to do so many things, but he was doing something that is not possible for him, right? He always endeavored for the kingship, the position, and always planned to destroy Pandavas. His whole life went on doing these things, right? In other hand, the Daiva, that is not going to change, right? He never accepted, right? He knew that he can never become king himself. He knew. He was not qualified. He knew that none of his sons could become a king, right? And he knew that, like, this my son Duryodhan is a sin, a sin personified. He's supposed to abandon him, punish him, but he could never do that. He could never accept that he's second in his life, right? So that is something of quality that Dhritarashtra had, right? That's a beautiful quality. On the other hand, you can see Lord Ramachandra, right? He was meditating when actually when this event happened, that now he came to know, like, okay, he wants him to go to the jungle, but he was contemplating, and Lakshman was really angry. This is something unacceptable. This is a challenge, right? Even his mother, was telling so many things, actually telling him, Lord Ramachandra, that you are hearing only your father, right? So you are trying to follow your father. But what about mother? Don't you have to follow the instruction of your mother? So then Lord Ramachandra says, please tell me. You tell me. I'll do my best to follow. Then she says that, like, why don't you stay back? Let Bharat become king. You know. Then he said, it's not possible, because even I will stay, because that will not please my father. Definitely he will be happy that I will stay back. But ultimately, he will be burning down inside. Oh, my son, he did not fulfill my wish. He didn't go to jungle. You know, that will burn him inside. I don't want to be in that situation, mother. So then his mother said, then take me with you, right? Take me with you. Then Lord Ramachandra says, no, oh, my mother, because of her wife always has to stay with the husband, right? So it's very difficult situation, right? And then in the same way, you can see Mother Sita. Now in the same place, you can see Mother Sita. Oh, she's also wife. Now she's supposed to follow Lord Ramachandra, but Lord Ramachandra was wanting her to come herself. Like, he didn't want to push that, oh, you come with me, right? So you can see this quality Lord Ramachandra had. And he was telling Lakshman that in Valmiki Ramayana, very beautiful sloka, that one thing is, like, I've never done bad to Kaikai. Never done. Like, she loved me so much. And I have never differentiated, like my Kausalya and all other mothers. I really genuinely love her, right? And you know that I'm going to be coronated in few hours, right? But you see that it's just taken. So I don't see a rational thinking why this happened. How did it drastically something, right? So when a great man, like, we can see that there is nothing left in their life but having a right attitude, while accepting what is in their faith, right? That makes a man great. So, and he says, actually, krita anta tu eva somitre dustavyo mata pravasane rajasya cha vitirnasya punar eva nivartate. Oh, Lakshman, look at the destiny which has taken place, back. The kingdom that I got, I have to give it back. It's taken away, right? And I have to go to jungle. And he says that, like, so definitely this is indeed the act of destiny, right? And we suddenly, you can see this, he used two words, very important, asmat, akasmat, and asam kalpitam. Akasmat means what? It's suddenly it happened, right? And asam kalpitam, like, mean unimaginable. You are not even thinking. It's beyond our thought that this could happen, right? So definitely, when something is like this happens in our life, we have to think there is something for us in our life, right? So, and we can see that, just like, uh, when uh, if you see sometimes the crows attacks the eagle. So the eagle actually do not attack the crow. It basically flies higher and higher and higher, where actually the crows cannot fly that particular height. So great person, what he does is, he sometimes there are two ways to deals with issues, right? So either you go in the ground, fight, right, or you have to come out of that situation and completely see, like, different perspective, try to find a different perspective about it. And Lord Ramachandra chose a different second one. He actually uh, had to prove himself also as a follower of his king, his father, right? Because by following, after he came back from the forest, right, being a follower, he was an ideal follower. That's why people listened to him after he became a king, right? That's why he was able to become a real ideal king, right? So even we know that the practice, the story of Steve Jobs, right? He was also kicked out from his own company he established with his friend, right? He went to different company later, from Apple to Pixar and all the company, and he formed Apple. Later he came back to the company, and now look at that, what he did at that time, you know. So sometimes we have to see that, the losing something also has a different perspective, right? That's a great quality a person has. So that's why Yamunacharya actually explained that why Lord, what is the qualities of us? What is a gunawan? A person who is a gunawan has what kind of qualities person has? He said that, oh Lord Ram, you are naturally controlled by love of your devotees, generous, in possession of auspicious qualities, straightforward, honest, pure, gentle, merciful, charming, steadfast, equal to all, blissful, wise, and saintly. You are a nectar ocean of all auspicious transcendental qualities. So that's the one quality that we just discussed in the Gunawan. Second quality of Lord Ram, Valmiki was saying about Vidyavan, the most powerful. And we all know how powerful was Lord Ram, right? So Lord Ram is also called Sarvadaman. Sarvadaman means, like, he can destroy anything as per his will. If he thinks that I'm going to destroy something, no one can stop him. He's a subduer of all, right? And we know that when he killed so many demons, Tadka, so powerful demon, he broke the Sivadhanush. Even Parshuram was like confused, like this small boy. How could he do it? You know, he killed Kabanda, the demon, Karadushan. Karadushan with, like, 14,000 demons single-handedly. When Surpanakha was so much attracted to Lord Ram, right? And when both Lord Ram and Lakshman rejected and wanted to kill Ram and Lakshman, actually wanted to kill Sita, actually, right? When Surpanakha wanted to kill Sita, Lakshman cut his nose and the ears, right? So, and we can see that then, to take then revenge, he went to his brothers, the Khara and Dushan. And Khara actually first sent 14 demons, which Lord Ramachandra killed so fast, quick. And then later he sent, like, the Khara and Dushan, they both came with 14,000 demons. They attacked Lord Ram. And Lord Ram told, actually, Lakshman and Sita, Lord Lakshman actually takes Sita in the cave. You both together go and hide in the cave. And he single-handedly destroyed all of them. You can see how powerful Lord Ramachandra was. He killed demons like Kumbhakarna. Everyone was scared of Kumbhakarna. It was a voracious eater, so powerful, right? And ultimately, the Ravana, the most powerful, all the demigods used to tremble, with him, right? So it is, and even there's Maricha and Subhahu. Actually, Subhahu was killed by Agnyastra. And this Maricha, when they were killing with Vishwamitra, when they're doing yajna with Vishwamitra, this actually he hit Maricha by this missile called Manava missile. Valmiki Ramayana is explained, and he flew. This demon flew like 100 yojanas length in full, long down to ocean. In the tides, and crazy. That's a power of Lord Ram, right? And he is a dharmagya, right? So in Shastra it says that Tasmat Shastra Pramanante Karya Karya Vivasitam. So how a person knows what is dharma, what is right and wrong, right? Is through the Shastra, right? And Lord Ram was very, very much dharmagya. When actually he got the the kingdom, actually he donated all entire kingdom to the Brahmins. Just imagine. Everything was donated. Nothing was left except his personal garments and the nathani, the nose ring of Sita Maharani. He donated the east, west, north side, everything to the Brahmanas. And Brahmanas were so pleased, like, king, you actually gave everything. Actually, they returned him back. But you can see he was a dharmagya, because serving a Brahmana, that is the one quality that Lord Ramachandra actually tells multiple times about it, like, serving a Brahmana. So he always followed the principle of Guru Sadhu Sastra, right? He always asks his Guru Vasishta or Vishwamitra, right? Whatever he had some instruction, he always followed, right? And we can know his dharma jnana when he killed Vali, right? And when Bali asks, so how can you kill me from behind? You're Kshatriya, what is this, right? And it speaks different principles that like, because first thing is you stole somebody's wife, like Sugri's wife Ruma. Second thing is I am a representative of Bharat, right? And this whole entire kingdom is I'm a ruler, I'm a king. I can punish somebody is doing wrong. I have a right to punish, right? And third thing, you are animal. It doesn't matter for a human to kill animal in any way, right? So many things actually he talks about this, um, um, the instruction, and one phase at a time when he was first time killing Tarka, who represents ignorance actually. So he was hesitant actually to kill Tarka. Just like Krishna wanted to kill Putana. Oh, this is a woman, right? So because in Ramayana it says nahi te stri badha krite griya karya narottama, right? Chaturvani hitarthaye kartavyam rajan rajan sununa. So Valmiki, no, Vishwamitra says that because Ramachandra was hesitant to kill Tadka, then he says that in Shastra it is right that the cow and the tree, they have to be protected all the time. They cannot be punished just like that. But he says that because you are a king, you're not ordinary person. You're not a really ordinary, like as a Kshatriya. It's your dharma that to establish the welfare of the Chaturvarna, right? You should not be hesitant to even kill the woman, he says, actually. He actually follows this principle that he took this actually in the heart. He also says that, for protecting the people, right? Always execute such deed, right? Either it is ruthless or human, sinful or vital. Even it seems like it's sinful to do it, but to protect the people, protect for dharma, you're supposed to do it. And he says, Rajya Bharam Yuktanam Mesha Dharma Sanatana Adharma Kya Jahi Ka Kutastha Dharmo Hayastam Na Vidyate. He says. So he says that when as it's a main important duty of a king that if this evil is not destroyed, right, that will bring so much like bad name for you. So it is your duty. It's your Rajya Bhar. You have to, as a king, you're ruling. It's your important duty to destroy this. So he always follows is dharmagya. He's following all the dharma based on the scriptures. So I'll not take all the qualities. Maybe few. I'll take more 7 minutes more. We'll talk about it. Some qualities more. Maybe only one. I think Kritagya we can speak and we can stop here. So the other quality of Lord Ram is Kritagya, right? Who is filled with gratitude. If you see Lord Ramachandra, right, he was always grateful. Right? In Ramayana it says that Lord Ram was satisfied even with the single act of service. Even somebody has some small act. We know that when during this uh, the breeze construction, these squirrels, they're trying to put some dust on the breeze, and Lord Rama could appreciate that, right? He was so grateful and actually put these three stripes on their body, right? It says that in Ramayana, it says he never, right? He never remember even the 100 offenses committed at him, but a dint, a little bit, even by mind, somebody's does, right? as a service to Lord Ram. He never forgets. That's the Tagyata he has all the time. And this we can see in few events which I went through in Valmiki Ramayana. When actually in Panchavati, now Lakshman actually was building this hermitage, a beautiful house he made. And Lord Ramachandra actually felt so grateful to Lakshman. He could see, and he actually tells him and hugs him. He says, Priyo asmin te mahat karma vyakritam idam prabhu pradeyo yan nimittamate parishwago maya kritaha. He says to Lakshman, actually, I'm very, very happy, right? You, because you have done so much for me, right? For that reason, I have nothing. Actually, I'm in the jungle. I have nothing to give, but I just have this simple hug. I just want to hug you, and he just simply hugs Lakshman, right? With that great gratitude, he says, "Bhavagena kritagena dharmagena cha Lakshmana, toya putrena dharmatma nas samvrita pitamama." So you know that, like, Lakshman, we have so many skills, and you know my feelings, right? And you exactly perform, you do things so honestly, everything, right? And you're such a nice person, and because of you, right, I never miss the father. I never thought, like, father is left, because we're so connected. I'm so much thankful for you. So that's gratitude, actually, his souls to Lakshman. So that's beauty about Lord Ramachandra, being grateful. And Jatayu, we know this pastime. Actually, Jatayu also, I never knew before I did Valmiki Ramayana, that how this Jatayu came and saved, how why he wants to save Sita, Mother Sita, how he knew. So actually, Jatayu actually knew and introduced to Ramachandra even beforehand. So in Panchavati, Jatayu actually met Ramchandra, and he tells all the long stories there where he describes about himself to Lord Ramachandra. He was a friend with Dasharath Maharaj, and then Lord Ramachandra looks at him as a father figure, and he was telling him that, like, this place actually a lot of demons come, so I will protect this Panchavati all the time. Whenever you are going somewhere, like, I will take care of Mother Sita. So this is the same thing that happened during that time when actually Jatayu was not there. I think he went to meet someone. I forgot the name. So he went to the um, meet his family or somebody. And during that time, actually Ravan actually kidnapped when Lakshman left. Otherwise, all the time Jatayu was protecting that place. So because when Jatayu, he saw Lord Ramachandra actually saw Jatayu falling in the ground, right? And he really felt, that first actually he had a very good conversation with Jatayu in terms of, like, what happened, like, who took Mother Sita and all those things. But after that performing, just like Jatayu is just a bird, it's just a bird for human. It's ordinary bird, just like that. But he performed of rites with all the Vedic mantras, is described in Valmiki Ramayana, how with, like, as if, you, for your dear ones who left the body, perform all full rites, in a properly, and perform the rites and showing that gratitude, that, you sacrifice for me. That's the mood of Lord Ramachandra, right? And also when at the end of the war, all the Ravana was killed, then demigods, Lord Shiva, actually they came, and Lord Indra asked Lord Ramachandra that, like, he was very happy, and he asked him, like, ask some boon. So during that time, and Lord Ramachandra asked the boon, actually he says that this monkey, they are all dead. They missed many miss their families, right? Because they have done so much favor for me, right? And I want them to be reunited with their family, right? With their near and dear one. By your grace, I seek this as a proof, he said. And he says that, I also wish that all these monkeys, bears, right? They free from all the wounds. Like, a lot of them were like, the broken hands, so many things, so much damage in the body because of the war and fight. He said that everything will be healed and give them the strength and valor, right? And he said that in the jungle, right, the place they live, he said that there will be beautiful crystal water, rain, like what crystal water, plus abundant amount of fruits in all the season for them. So that's why actually Lord Ramachandra asked, because he was so grateful for these monkeys and bears and everyone who fought. He didn't ask anything for himself, right? He could ask that, but he was thinking about the people who sacrificed. So that's a beauty of Lord Ram. So by thinking about this, like it's a right meditation. I just wanted to in the class that in that particular mood, we have to start our day tomorrow, right? And be grateful, like that Lord Ramchandra. So by hearing his pastime, we can utilize the day, his pastime, his glories. Definitely, in the beginning, I was saying, Falastruti itself, like hearing Lord Ram can destroy all our envy in our heart, our envy nature, right? Let that envy nature in our heart get destroyed. So, thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. Have a question and comment, and let me.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, devotees who have any questions, please raise your hand. Or write up to the chat room. We can take some questions. As many of you know that tomorrow is Ram Navami, so we'll be celebrating at the center 6 p.m. onward, and those nearby, I request them that please try to join at the center. The program starts 6 p.m. sharp. Those who are bringing the Bhoga offering, please bring in the Bhoga offering by 6:30 so they can be properly served. And time is important. Everybody comes in time. The program goes in time and we can have nice celebration. So, and as Ram Tulasi Prabhu said, tomorrow very auspicious day. So let's get together, everybody. We do daily morning japa. So join at 6 a.m. for the japa, and there'll be a nice offering to Lord Ram and also purification for us. Those who are not member of any of the Bhakti Village, please let us know. Actually, if you go to the website Iskcon of Bergen, you can provide the information and you'll be contacted for the proper Bhakti Village for you. We also do the Bhagavad Gita reading in the midday, 12 to 12:15 at the same Zoom. So take the advantage of that. This Sunday class, also join this Sunday program. It starts at 4:30. Make a note, time is 4:30. So see you again tomorrow. Questions, let's go back. Questions. Abhishek timing is 6:45 sharp tomorrow. So we'll be doing the nice Abhishek tomorrow. So everybody is requested to come in time. Thank you. Questions, let me see. Questions. Sometimes in the Zoom, I don't see the replies. So you can raise your hand or just unmute yourself and ask the question maybe.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes,
Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pranam. So Prabhu, one question. Lord Ram came, Krishna came as Lord Ram, right? And Balaram came as Lakshman.
Mhm.
So what about Bharat and Shatrughna?
In all the pastimes, all the characters will always not be there. most of the prominent characters. Like for example, definitely in even in Krishna, the pastime, actually a lot of demigods were appearing in Bhoja family, Yadu family, a lot of incarnation that happened. But I've not heard any specific specification about, like, Bharat and Shatrughan appearing as a specific personality in Krishna Lila.
Okay.
Yes, Rohan Prabhu.
Rohan Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, and Pranam.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nicely explained, Prabhu. I just, yeah, wanted to share that the point that you made, that we should not confuse duty with destiny. That's a very, very important takeaway. So just like when Vidura tried instructing Dhritarashtra, so Dhritarashtra blamed it on destiny. That what can I do? I cannot control my son. Now he's gone out of my hands. So similarly, when Lord Ram was exiled, Lakshmana asks him to fight back, and Lord Ram accepted as the will of the destiny. So, but when Mother Sita was kidnapped, he did his duty as an ideal husband. So it's very, very important for us to understand what is the will of destiny versus what is our duty. So I was just remembering something from from the Krishna book, that when Kamsa hears the voice from the skies that the eighth son of Devaki will be the killer of Kamsa, and he tries to kill Devaki. So Vasudev could have accepted it as the will of destiny, but he did his best to convince Kamsa, right? So that it is the will of destiny, right? If it is the will of destiny, then you must accept it. But Kamsa at the same time tried to protect Devaki, because she was his wife, right? And he tried to convince Kamsa that you must accept it as the will of destiny, and at the same time not try to create further bad karma by trying to kill your sister, especially on this auspicious occasion, right, of her marriage. So, but yeah, Kamsa, as we see, that he was, because he was demoniac, he was not ready to accept it as the will of destiny. So, yeah, just wanted to share that.
Thank you, bro. I think I heard one lecture by Gautam Prabhu where he points out that Daiva is not independent of Purushartha, and Purushartha is also not independent of Daiva. So both come in hand, right? Because whatever we do, like, Deva has to fulfill it. So if you don't perform, also Deva Deva also is not going to fulfill it. So definitely we have to be practically doing both regards.
True, yes.
Highlighting that wonderful point.
Anybody else? And Mai Karnaparu, you had some question?
Vishnu, the Vishnu. Who, like in lecture, you said like Lord Ram is most powerful. So can we ask him tomorrow on his appearance day to give that same strength in chanting his own names?
Sorry, Prabhu, I missed it. I couldn't understand.
Who you said like Lord Ram is most powerful, and like is Krishna himself. So he has a lot of strength. Like all strength comes from him. So is it right to ask him, like, can we get the same strength in chanting his own names? Will that be, will that can be a prayer for him to ask tomorrow?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Right? Because that's why the Lord is not incapable of anything, right? Except you're taking a free will, anything he can do. Nothing is beyond his control. Anything he can do. So if and especially Lord Ramachandra is very easy to please in terms of his heart actually is very soft, right? So that's why he says, like, even somebody says, like, I'm yours, I'm yours. He is willing to give you everything, his entire kingdom and everything. You know, that power of holy name, the test of holy name, right? If he can sincerely pray, why not? Right? Because he can destroy the unearthers like anything, right? His name himself, just like Ratnakar, this we talked about this quality, a bad quality a person has, right? It's been destroyed, even chanting Mara, 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 right? So you can just imagine that if Lord Ramachandra personally, like, empower us through to the prayers we ask, I think definitely he'll be very happy to give us blessing, to empower holy name. That's what actually Krishna is looking for us, to turn back to him, to the process of chanting and hearing. So
Okay.
Hari Om.